Aita for not picking up my BF after he lied to me? Kinda is long, new to Reddit, and can update if it lets me about the after. So this started Thursday, me, 29F, my BF, 30M, and my son that isn't his, 12M. Me and my BF, let's call him Jay, have been dating for 4 years the end of this month. Thursday I was off. Jay went to work with his dad and bro doing lawns, and we were all set to go to my son's final school band concert for the year later that day. I'm big on planning, so everyone knew what time we were leaving. Now mind you, my son has to go to this concert as a final for his grade in that class, and also mandatory if he wants to go on the band field trip that is next week. He has been working hard for the past month and bringing his grades up in school to be able to join, and this concert was the final requirement for him to be able to go. I'll admit that during the day, I was having a hard mental day, anxiety and depression, and maybe this plays into everything. Jay's dad came and picked him up that morning to work, so he left his car at my place. I have an apartment with my son, and Jay stays with us most of the time, but he isn't on the paperwork. The plan was that Jay was supposed to come back in time to take a shower, and then Jay and my son would go to the band concert. If Jay wasn't able to make it in time, then he would meet us at the school since I had to get my son, let's call him D, there early. D was required to be there at 6:30, but he wanted to be there at 6. I told Jay so he knew. Anyway, it's time for me to pick up D from school. We were gonna go home, let him eat a snack, chill for a little, then change his clothes and head back to the school. When I get back home with D, Jay's car is gone. I was just texting him, and he mentioned that he'd be done with work soon, but didn't mention anything about his car. So now I'm freaking out thinking someone stole it, or maybe my apartment complex had it towed or something. I wasn't sure what to think, so I tried calling Jay just to make sure if he had it or not. Why would he have it when his dad picked him up? So I called him about 3 times with no answer. Not surprised cause he's busy, but I'm freaking out. I tried calling his bro to see if he answered and nothing. So I texted both of them asking if Jay had his car, or not cause it wasn't here. Then I try calling Jay one more time and he answers. I ask if he has his car, or not because it's not here. He seems confused and doesn't get what I'm saying, which makes me panic more cause oh crap. He seems whatever about it, and just says he will be home soon. So now I'm pacing on my patio trying to figure out what are we gonna do. Looking outside to see if I notice anything in his car. 5 minutes before I had to leave with D to take him back to school, and Jay's bro texted me back asking for help, saying that Jay's car won't start. So I'm like, wait, what? He has it? And his bro is like, yeah, he has his car, but it won't start. At this point, I'm pissed off now cause why did Jay lie to me? His bro was confused too and said that Jay was trying to be funny. I told his bro that I had to go cause of D and to be safe. Pretty much immediately after that, Jay calls me and is asking me to pick him up and that he's not far away. Not even telling me he has his car still. I'm just flabbergasted at this point and don't know how to respond. I was mad and I told him I don't know where you are, but you know I have to go. He told me he would figure it out, and knowing he was with his bro and dad I figured he'd be fine. He has them, but D only has me at this moment. I have to get him to school. Remember, D asked me to get him there extra early, so we left. About 10 to 15 minutes out, D says he forgot his music book. Luckily we left 30 minutes extra early, so we could go back and get it. And now we would just be on time. Annoying but whatever. When I get back home to run up real quick for the book, I notice Jay and his family with his car in a different area of the parking lot. His hood is popped open, and there's a group of strangers with them too. I was glad that he was able to get his car back at least, but knew this was going to be weird. When I and D was leaving again with his book, I drove by Jay and stopped to ask if he was okay, if he was going to stay here, if he wanted to go with us, and why we came back and had to go. Everyone looked at me weirdly and he was kinda dismissive. I'm like, okay, well, glad you're okay, gotta go and leave. So the rest of the evening texts were getting shorter and shorter, and I knew he was starting to shut me out again. I was trying to keep things peaceful, but I told him I was mad at him and waiting to talk about everything later. Asked if he wanted food on our way home. Jay was just dismissive. He went home with his family. So after getting home and taking a shower, I asked Jay if he was ready to talk. He was like, nah, I'm good. So I told him how I felt. That his lying to me about the car and causing unnecessary panic was not the right move, and that it wasn't a funny joke. He replied, K. I sent another paragraph. He said K. After a few of those, I was like, whatever man, I'm not doing this. I hate when he gets like that, and I asked him if he could come get his clothes to wash and then go home. I wasn't going to deal with him like that, because it makes me feel like walking on eggshells in my own space, and my anxiety can't. He comes over around 11 that night, and he won't look at me. Just packs his stuff, barely answering my questions. He then grabs his Xbox. He left before like this but never taken the Xbox. And I'm like, whoa, what does that mean? He won't answer. At this point, I'm just sitting on the couch feeling panicky and keep asking him what that means. He says he's gonna go home and needs some time alone. I'm trying to ask how long and figure out why is he mad at me when he lied, but just walks out the door without even looking at me. I'm like, are you serious right now? And he said yeah and left. I texted something like, it's fine if you need space, but abandoning me and ignoring me is not how this works. You have to communicate what's going on, and left it at that. He ignored me until the afternoon the next day.